Picture this. You just dropped 30, 40, maybe $50,000 on a brand new car. It's got that turbocharged engine, great fuel economy sticker, pulls hard when you get on the highway, life is good. Then 2, 3 years later, before you've even paid the thing off, something starts going wrong. A weird noise under the hood, a little smoke at startup. Your mechanic pulls you aside with that look on his face, you know the one, and says, "Yeah, we've got a turbo problem." And you're sitting there thinking, how? This thing is practically new. Here's the reality. Modern turbocharged engines are incredible pieces of engineering, but they have a fatal flaw that most owners never find out about until it's too late. And today, we're going to fix that. I'm going to walk you through exactly why these engines fail early, what the manufacturers won't put in bold letters on the window sticker, and most importantly, what you can do starting today to make sure your engine is still running strong at 150, 200,000 miles. So let's get into it. Turbochargers are everywhere now. We're talking Ford F-150S, Chevy Silverados, Honda Civics, Hyundais, Volkswagens, you name it. The reason automakers went all in on turbos is simple. A smaller turbocharged engine can produce the same power as a bigger naturally aspirated one while burning less fuel. It's a win on paper. And honestly, it usually is, when everything is working right. But here's what makes a turbo fundamentally different from a regular engine component. That turbine inside is spinning at speeds up to 200,000 RPM. For reference, a car engine at highway speed is turning maybe 2 to 3,000 RPM. Your turbocharger is spinning roughly 100 times faster than that, and it's doing it while bathed in exhaust gases that can reach over 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the only thing keeping that turbo alive under those conditions, the one thing standing between you and a very expensive repair bill, is engine oil. Fresh, clean, properly circulating engine oil. And that is exactly where most people are setting themselves up for failure without even knowing it. Here's the #1 killer of modern turbocharged engines, and it's something every single one of us has done. Shutting the car off immediately after a hard drive. Think about your commute home. You've been on the highway, you're pushing the engine, that turbo has been working. You pull into the driveway, park it, shut it off. Done, right? Wrong. That turbocharger is still scorching hot. The oil pump stops the second you kill the engine. So now you've got extreme heat and no oil circulation. The leftover oil inside the turbo bearing starts to cook. Over time, that cooked oil turns into a carbon buildup called coking, and it restricts the oil passages. Once that happens, you're on the clock. The bearings start to wear, the shaft starts to wobble. Eventually, you're looking at a turbo replacement, and depending on your vehicle, that's anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 or more. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Let the car idle for 60 to 90 seconds before you shut it down after any hard driving. Just sit there. Let the cooling system and the oil do their job and bring that turbo down to a manageable temperature. Some people call this a cool-down idle. And if you drive a turbocharged vehicle and you're not doing this, start today. Now let's talk about oil, because this is the second place people go wrong, and it's actually more damaging in the long run. Modern turbocharged engines are obsessed with oil viscosity. If your owner's manual says 0W20 full synthetic, that's not a suggestion, that's an engineering requirement. The oil passages that feed turbo bearings are incredibly tight. Using a thicker or conventional oil, especially in cold weather, means the oil takes longer to circulate when you first start the engine. And those first few seconds of startup, when the engine is running but oil pressure hasn't fully built yet, that's when the most wear happens. Turbo bearings run nearly dry for a brief moment every single cold start. Do that with the wrong oil or old, degraded oil, and you're slowly grinding away the lifespan of that turbo. Here's what you do. Run full synthetic. Run the exact grade your manufacturer specifies and change it on schedule or early. I know a lot of people who push oil changes out because it looks fine. With turbocharged engines, that's a gamble. The thermal stress these engines put on oil is significantly higher than on a naturally aspirated engine. The oil degrades faster. A good rule of thumb if you want to be safe: don't go past 5,000 miles on a turbo engine, even if the manufacturer says you can stretch it longer. The third issue, and this one flies completely under the radar, is what we call oil starvation on the highway. Here's the scenario. You're driving on a long trip, you've got a full oil level, everything seems fine. But modern cars have baffled oil pans designed to keep oil around the pickup tube during normal driving. If your oil is even a quart low and you're going around a long freeway on-ramp or climbing a steep grade, the oil can momentarily slosh away from that pickup tube. The oil pump gulps air for a fraction of a second. Your turbocharger, spinning at 200,000 RPM, just lost its lubrication. That's what's called a momentary oil starvation event. Do it enough times and the damage adds up. The solution here is maintenance basics. Check your oil level every month or at every other fuel fill-up. Keep it at the full line. It takes 30 seconds and it can literally save your engine. And while we're at it, air filtration. Turbocharged engines are very sensitive to what gets pulled in on the intake side. A worn-out or poorly sealed air filter, especially on a truck that sees dusty environments or off-road conditions, can let fine particulate matter into the compressor side of the turbo. That grit acts like sandpaper on the compressor wheel. You usually won't notice it until boost starts dropping or you hear a faint whine that wasn't there before. Check your air filter when you change your oil. It's a 5-minute job and a $20 part. Now, I know some of you are thinking, man, turbocharged engines sound like a headache. But here's the thing. The cars with the highest mileage turbocharged engines I've ever seen all have one thing in common. The owners treat maintenance like a religion. They change their oil on time. They let the car cool down. They check their fluid levels. They follow the spec, not the shortcut. Do those things and a modern turbocharged engine can absolutely go 200,000 miles without touching the turbo. If this video helped you out, do me a favor and hit that like button. It seriously helps get this content in front of people who need to hear it before they end up in a repair shop wondering what went wrong.